This device measures a jaw-dropping 4.5 millimeters thick when open. That makes it the thinnest device Apple has ever created. It is actually thinner than the 13-inch iPad Pro, but the biggest surprise is not the hardware design. It is a radical shift in strategy that most people are completely ignoring right now. Apple has been developing a foldable device for over a decade, and after years of internal delays, scrapped prototypes, and supply chain leaks, the final product is officially entering production. It is not called the iPhone Fold. Apple is refusing to copy the Samsung Galaxy Fold branding. Instead, rumors and supply chain leaks point to a completely different name: the iPhone Ultra. This aligns perfectly with their premium-tier Apple Watch Ultra, and it signals a massive shift in how you should view your next smartphone purchase, because this is not just a new phone. It is a completely different financial investment. When this device launches alongside the standard Pro models, it will carry a starting price of around $2,300 for the 256GB model. If you want the 1TB version, you are looking at roughly $2,900. That makes it the most expensive iPhone ever made. And for anyone researching the best laptop under $1,000 or the best smartphone for professionals, dropping over $2,000 on a phone sounds terrifying. But when you look at what Apple is actually putting inside this chassis, that premium ownership cost starts to make a lot more sense. Every other foldable phone on the market, from the Google Pixel Pro Fold to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, is taller than it is wide. Apple completely flipped the script. The iPhone Ultra uses a book-style landscape orientation with a 4.3 aspect ratio. When closed, you get a highly usable 5.49-inch outer display. But when you open it, you get 7.76 inches of OLED screen real estate. That is barely smaller than an iPad mini. For a professional workflow, this completely eliminates the need to carry both a phone and a tablet. It is a true two-in-one productivity upgrade, but that is not the biggest change. The single biggest reason people avoid foldable phones is the crease down the middle of the screen. It has plagued every premium device from Samsung to Microsoft to Sony to Apple. Reportedly through an unlimited budget at this specific problem, they partnered with Lens Technology to develop a brand new material property. They are using an advanced ultra-thin glass combined with a new optically clear adhesive that remains perfectly flexible during extreme bending. The result is a crease depth of under 0.15 millimeters and a crease angle under 2.5 degrees. In real-world terms, the crease is virtually invisible, and the hinge itself is engineered from liquid metal. This is significantly tougher than titanium and far more resistant to the long-term bending and deformation that ruins older foldable phones. But this extreme engineering comes with a serious compromise here, is where things get very interesting. To achieve that 4.5 millimeter open thickness, Apple had to make cuts. And one of those cuts is going to frustrate a lot of longtime iPhone users. There is no Face ID on the iPhone Ultra. The chassis is simply too thin to house the complex true-depth camera system. Instead, Apple is bringing back Touch ID, integrated directly into the power button, exactly like the current iPad Air. There is also no action button. There is no MagSafe ring on the back, and there is absolutely no physical SIM slot. This is an eSIM-only device. Apple is constructing the frame using a hybrid of titanium and aluminum. They are placing titanium exclusively on the stress-bearing hinge parts for durability, and using aluminum everywhere else for heat dissipation and weight management. And you only get two premium color options, a classic silver white and a deep indigo shade. There is reportedly no true black option at all. Most buyers comparing specs are completely missing this one detail that could make or break this purchase: the camera system. Because the phone is so impossibly thin, there is absolutely no room for a periscope telephoto lens. On the back, you get a dual 48 megapixel setup with a wide and ultra-wide shooter, but on the inside, Apple is debuting an industry first, an under-display 24 megapixel camera on the inner folding screen. This gives you an uninterrupted iPad-like canvas for your professional workflow, without an ugly notch or cutout getting in the way of your apps. Under the hood, the performance jump is staggering. The iPhone Ultra will debut Apple's A20 chip, built on TSMC's cutting-edge 2nm process benchmarks. Estimates show this chip is up to 15% faster and 30% more power efficient than the current generation, but numbers on a chart do not tell the whole story. Apple is using a brand new WMCM packaging method, This means the 12 gigabytes of RAM is integrated directly onto the chip's wafer, alongside the CPU and GPU. In real-world performance, this means massive creator workflow files, 4K video exports, and heavy on-device AI tasks will process almost instantly. The data does not have to travel across a motherboard, and to keep a 4.5mm phone from melting in your hands, Apple managed to engineer a microscopic vapor chamber, cooling system inside the chassis. This guarantees flagship performance during heavy gaming or rendering without aggressive thermal throttling. The benchmark numbers look impressive on paper, but here is what real-world testing actually showed. And the results were not what anyone expected. The battery life. When you make a device this thin, battery life usually suffers. But Apple's internal modular design changes everything. By pushing the motherboard entirely to the right side and routing the display cables upward, they created massive physical space for battery cells. Leaks confirm a battery capacity between 5,400 and 5,800 milliamp hours. That is the largest battery Apple has ever put in a smartphone. For context, the iPhone 17 Pro Max only sits at 5088. Combined with that 30% more efficient 2nm chip, you are looking at a device that can easily push through 2 full days of heavy professional use. This modular design also makes the iPhone Ultra the most repairable foldable phone ever manufactured. Replacing the battery or the outer display will not require destroying the entire chassis. That dramatically increases the long-term value and future-proofing of this investment. And this is the part that almost nobody is talking about: connectivity. The iPhone Ultra will debut Apple's C2 modem. This is their second-generation in-house silicon, and it finally matches Qualcomm's flagship performance with full millimeter wave 5G support. But it also introduces a massive privacy upgrade, a limit-precise location feature at the hardware level. Your cell carrier will only be able to see your general neighborhood, not your exact street address. Plus, you get full non-terrestrial network satellite internet access. Third-party apps, Apple Maps, and iMessage will work over a satellite connection when you are completely off the grid. To support all of this hardware, iOS is getting a massive overhaul. For the first time ever on an iPhone, you will get true split-screen multitasking. You will get the iPadOS sidebar navigation. And developers are already receiving new APIs to adapt their software for the 4.3 aspect ratio. So after looking at everything, the performance, the extreme design, the compromises, and the massive price tag, here is who should actually buy this right now. And here is who should definitely wait. If you are a casual user, a standard consumer, or someone who simply uses their phone for social media and texting, do not buy the iPhone Ultra. Spending $2,300 on a first-generation foldable is a terrible financial decision for basic usage. You are far better off securing the best value flagship, like the standard iPhone 16 or 17, and keeping that $1,500 difference in your bank account. But if you are a professional, a creator, or a power user currently holding onto a 2 or 3-year-old Pro model, this changes the math completely. If you currently buy a premium smartphone and a premium tablet for your workflow, the iPhone Ultra replaces both. Spending roughly $65 a month over a standard 3-year upgrade cycle gives you the ultimate premium experience. You get the thinnest Apple device ever made, the biggest battery in iPhone history, true laptop-level RAM integration, and a completely crease-free workspace in your pocket. For that specific buyer, this is a smart investment. But if you absolutely need a telephoto camera for your daily life, or you refuse to give up the convenience of Face ID, you need to wait. The second-generation model is already confirmed for 2027, perfectly timed for the iPhone's 20th anniversary, and it will undoubtedly refine these early compromises. Either way, the standard glass slab smartphone era is officially coming to an end. Before you make your final decision, there is one more development coming that could change the entire picture. We are covering that next.